Yars Revenge. Atari game program instructions. Table of contents. 1. Terminology. 2. Gameplay. 3. Using the controllers. 4. Console controls. 5. Game variations. 6. Scoring. 7. Helpful hints. 8. Mission log. Terminology. Yar. Fly simulator under direct user control. Energy missile. Missile shot by Yar. Removes cells. Qotile. Laser base-like object on right side of the screen behind the shield. Shield. Energy shield protecting the Qotile, composed of cells. Cells. Elements of which shield is composed. Destroyer missile. Guided missiles put out by Qotile to destroy Yars. Zorlon cannon. Pulsing scintillating fireball appears on left side of screen and traversing the screen horizontally. Swirl. Whirling pinwheel fired by the Qotile to destroy Yars. Neutral zone. Colorful and glittering path down the center of the playfield. When in the zone, a Yar cannot operate fire commands and cannot be harmed by destroyer missiles. However, the Yar can be destroyed by a swirl in the zone. Gameplay. The primary objective of the game is to break a path through the shield and destroy the Qotile with a blast from the Zorlon cannon. The secondary objective is to score as many points as possible. See Figure 1 for an explanation of the objects on the playfield. The shield is the red area in front of the Qotile base. It appears in one of two shapes, as an arch or a shifting rectangle. The shield is made up of cells. The Yar Scout can destroy these cells by firing at them with energy missiles from any location on the playfield, or by devouring them on direct contact. The Zorlon cannon can be used to demolish cells, but this is a waste of a powerful weapon. Note: to learn how to control the Yar and other aspects of the gameplay, be sure to read Section 3, Using the Controllers. Once a path has been cleared through the shield, the Zorlon cannon must be used to destroy the Qotile. To call up the cannon, the Yar can either eat a cell or run over the Qotile. See Game Variations, Section 5 for more details on playing Ultimate Yars, Games 6 and 7. The Zorlon cannon appears on the left side of the playfield and moves in a direct line with the Yar. This means the Yar is in its line of fire. It is important, therefore, to aim the cannon at the Qotile, fire it, and fly out of the way fast. The Qotile shoots off two weapons, destroyer missiles and swirls. The destroyer missiles come in a more or less constant stream one at a time. The Yar must do his best to dodge them. Periodically, the Qotile transforms into a swirl. This swirl winds up and rushes off after the Yar. A swirl can be destroyed with the Zorlon cannon by hitting it either at its base location or in midair. As a player's score increases, the swirl becomes increasingly dangerous. See Section 6, Scoring. The glittering path down the center of the screen is the neutral zone. This area will protect a Yar from destroyer missiles, but not from swirls. While in the neutral zone, a Yar cannot fire any energy missiles of his own. When a Yar is hit by a destroyer missile, a swirl, or his own Zorlon cannon, he dies. Each player has 4 Yars, turns, to play in a game. Additional Yars can be earned. See Scoring, Section 6. Using the controllers. Use your joystick controllers with this Atari game program cartridge. Be sure the joystick controller cables are firmly plugged into the controller jacks at the back of your Atari video computer system game. For one-player games, use the joystick controller plugged into the left controller jack. Hold the joystick with the red button to your upper left toward the television screen. See Section 3 of your owner's manual for further details. Controlling the Yar. The Yar will move in whatever direction the joystick is pushed. The screen wraps from top to bottom, bottom to top. This means that if you fly the Yar off the top of the screen, it will appear at the bottom and vice versa. The red fire button has 2 separate firing functions. It will fire an energy missile in the direction the Yar is pointed or operate the Zorlon cannon when it is on the screen. Note: information about operating the cannon is covered in Section 2, Gameplay. The red button is also used to restart turns and games. Press it after each turn to start a new life or continue a successful one. Press it at the end of the game if you want to play that same game version again. Console controls. Game select switch. Use the Game Select switch to select the game number you wish to play. See Game Variations, Section 5 for game numbers and descriptions. The game number appears in the center of the screen. Game Reset switch. Once you have selected the game number you wish to play, press the Game Reset switch to start the game. To start the same game over again, you may either press Game Reset or the red button on your joystick. Game Reset can also be used to start a new game at any time. Difficulty switches. Yars Revenge has 2 difficulty levels, A and B. The B level is for normal gameplay. Level A is for the skilled player. When the difficulty switch is moved to A, the swirl will be propelled faster, making it harder for the Yar to dodge it. Also, if the Zorlon cannon and the destroyer missile touch, they will destroy each other. In a 1-player game, use the left difficulty switch. For 2-player games, the left player uses the left difficulty switch. The right player uses the right difficulty switch. TV type switch. Set this switch to color if you have a color television set. Set it to BW to play the game in black and white. Game Variations. Game 0. This is the simplest version, a good choice for young children to play. It features a slow destroyer missile. Game 1. This is the 2-player version of Game 0. Game 2. This is the normal game, with 2 alternating shield configurations, plus a destroyer missile and a swirl traveling at normal speed. Game 3. This is the 2-player version of Game 2. Game 4. This game features a Zorlon cannon that bounces off the shield. Watch out! It can destroy you on its return flight. There are 2 shield configurations, plus a destroyer missile and a swirl traveling at normal speeds. Game 5. This is the 2-player version of Game 4. Ultimate Yars. Games 6 and 7. Ultimate Yars features a bouncing Zorlon cannon, plus some unusual twists that distinguish it from the other Yar games. First, you must bounce the Yar against the left side of the screen to make the Zorlon cannon appear. Also, to make the cannon appear, you need 5 trons. Trons are units of energy which you can collect at the following rate. 1 eat a cell from the shield. 1 tron. 2. Touch the Qotile. 2 trons. 3. Catch a Zorlon cannon shot after it bounces off the shield. 4 trons. If a Yar bounces on the left side with less than 5 trons, it will not get a shot, but it won't lose the trons it has either. Each time a Yar is destroyed, it loses its trons. Each Yar has a capacity of 255 trons. If a Yar tries to take on more than that, it will short out and the Yar will lose all its trons. The count of trons is not displayed on the screen. Yar scouts understand the count instinctively. Game 6 is the 1-player version of Ultimate Yars. Game 7 is the 2-player version. Scoring. Score chart. Cell hit by missile. 69. Cell devoured by Yar. 69. Bonus 100 points. Qotile destroyed. 1000. Swirl destroyed in place. 2000. Swirl destroyed in midair. 6000. Bonus additional life. High score game features. 70,000. Swirl triples in frequency and sometimes fires instantly. Shield turns blue. 150,000. Swirl returns to normal frequency, but will remain in midair to hit you. Shield turns gray. 230,000. Swirl again triples in frequency and sometimes fires instantly. Shield turns pink. Helpful hints. When you destroy the Qotile or a swirl, there will be an explosion, during which the Yar stays on the screen. Use this opportunity to make up your own victory dance. And watch out for the ghost of Yars. You'll see his mean streak, so stay off it. The Qotile continually changes colors. The color sequence is your cue to the appearance of a swirl and gives you warning to plan your attack and defense. If you fly over the Qotile as it changes to a swirl, it will destroy you, so be careful. When you think you are a tough Avenger, switch the difficulty to A and then try Ultimate Yars. Mission Log. Yars Revenge. The Qotile Ultimatum.
The new recruit is here, sir.
Very well, send him in. We'll dispense with the preliminaries and get right down to business. First, you will learn the secrets of our sacred past. We Yars are actually descended from the common housefly, still found on planet Earth. Our early ancestors were brought into space quite accidentally on board the Earth's first interstellar excursion vehicle.
More food supplies, Jake.
Put him in Gallery 5. Sure wish I could go. Imagine traveling into another solar system.
The ship is launched with a burst of flame and hurtles through the Earth's atmosphere. It heads deep into the future.
A strange formation just appeared in our path. No time now to...
Eventually, this noteworthy ship crashed right here in the Razak solar system. When the radioactive dust finally settled, the flies, miraculously the only survivors, had gained new powers and transformed into magnificent creatures, forever after known as Yars. We Yars populated the third, fourth, and fifth planets of the Razak solar system, where we established an orderly and productive community. We were able to live peacefully and enjoy our newfound powers. And indeed, our powers are extraordinary. We can fly freely from planet to planet. We can devour any substance and convert it into energy missiles powerful enough to vaporize solid rock. To protect our peaceful community, we designed the invincible Zorlon cannon. An attack came before we were able to complete the cannon. Our enemy, the Qotile, decimated Planet 4 without warning, dissolving it into a radioactive field. Immediately, our top priority became driving the Qotile from our midst. We must avenge the destruction of Planet 4. We devised a secret plan making use of our strengths, our unfinished cannon, and what little we know of the enemy. I will now disclose the details of this plan, for your eyes only. The enemy is based on a moon just across the neutral zone, which used to be Planet 4. Their base is protected by an energy shield composed of cosmic cells. The Qotile hides behind the shield and fires destroyer missiles, and worse, something called swirls. We are safe from destroyer missiles in the neutral zone. But while taking cover there, we lose our own ability to fire and communicate. We are not safe from swirls in the zone. They're deadly anywhere. To prepare for battle, Yars pass through the armament center. Outfitted as warriors, they take off from the base and attempt to complete the following mission. First, a path must be broken through the Qotile shield by firing energy missiles at it, or devouring the cells. Then the Zorlon cannon must be called in to do the rest. Because we never finished the aiming system, the cannon is difficult, even dangerous to use, so listen carefully. To summon the cannon, you must devour a cell or touch the Qotile. This will signal our base to launch the cannon in a horizontal line with your flight course. To aim the cannon, line it up with the Qotile. Communicate back to the base when you're ready to fire. Then, fly out of the way fast. If you don't, the cannon will invariably hit you first. Now that you have heard our sacred history and learned the details of our battle mission, now, it is up to you to destroy the enemy and avenge our community. And so, another brave Yar flies off to fight the Qotile. Will this one scout have the courage and skill needed to rid the Yars of a ruthless enemy? And, most important, can you help him?